Good Monday morning, everyone. This is Joe, Daniel's dad, welcoming you to my scripture reflection for this Monday, March the 14th. I welcome you on this day, and I always say thank you for joining me and listening to what I have to say to hopefully make this world a better place for animals and people. So with that, an important announcement that I'd ask you to please just keep in mind, if you would, for the next couple days. I am going to be doing all of my videos and messages and expanding them for care for the animal world on a new page on my Facebook page. And that page's name is Joe Dwyer Jr., all one word. Very easy to remember. That's my name. And I'm going to ask you to look out for it in the next couple days and then like it and then join me there when I go live and post videos and things. That I have one goal in mind: to make this a better world for animals and people. God knows we have enough going against us right now, but I am looking to kind of turn that tide, if you will, and post things and encourage people to a better way of life and a better world for animals and people, kinder and more compassionate. So with that in mind, I'd ask you to quiet your minds and hearts as we prepare to hear today's gospel, which is from St. Luke chapter 6, verses 36 to 38. Jesus said to his disciples, "Be merciful just as your Father is merciful. Stop judging and you will not be judged. Stop condemning and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Give and gifts will be given to you. A good measure, packed together, shaken down, and overflowing, will be poured into your lap. For the measure with which you measure will in return be measured out to you." The golden rule, so to speak: do unto others as you want them to do to you. But I would say that all of us would agree that one of the hardest things to do is to forgive, to not judge, and to stop talking about others. Think about it. It doesn't take very long when we go into each day for these three things: judging, talking about others, and not forgiving. They come together in one little ugly little package, if you will. And it makes it difficult. It is a difficult thing for us to overcome. So I want to bring you to my martial arts training. You see, in my martial arts training, I learned a little trick. It was called take your worst technique and train until it's your best technique. Then take your worst technique and train until it's your best technique. Then take your worst technique. I think you get the point, right? You keep working on one thing until consider it to be your worst technique until it becomes your best. For me, I learned a kick called a hook kick this way. And yes, once I had done the work, absolutely, I found it to be one of my best techniques where it was one of my worst. We can all do that with condemning, forgiving, and not talking about others and judging them. How do we do that? We do that the same way I looked at my hook kicks. First, I worked on it every single day without fail. Every day. Didn't matter whether it was the weekend, didn't matter whether it was a hot day, a cold day, I didn't feel well. I worked on it. It has to take center stage in your life, and you have to work on it. Secondly, by working on it, I started small. I didn't try to do a hook kick that was above somebody's head that was 7 foot tall. I started with lower hook kicks, slower hook kicks. In that regard, we must look at this as something that we practice on the little things first. Don't try to forgive something that happened that really hurt you and put you in a bad place. Forgive the person who cut you off on the road, or forgive the person who, went in front of you online in the store. Start there. And then lastly, I looked at models for myself when I was looking at my hook kicks. I looked at people who did it really well, and I tried to model what they were doing, putting my own flavor on top of it, most importantly, but I looked at them for a guideline. That's where we have it made, my friends. We have the animals we share this planet with. They don't judge. They don't talk about others. And they forgive constantly things that we would only dream about forgiving. So what do you think? Let's start this today. Let's start it and make it work every day. Let's start it and start small today. And let's start it and look at an animal that would motivate you. So what I'd ask you to do is type in the comments an animal that's going to be one of your guides. You could either name a specific animal, you can name a species, whatever you choose to do. I would appreciate that, because then we can get some momentum going here. And we can do some really powerful things and really start this important technique of forgiving, not condemning, and not judging. Well, my friends, I thank you. I thank you for listening. I thank you if you appreciated this message that you'll share it on your page for others. I thank you for joining Joe Dwyer Jr. later this week and following me at my website, same name, no accident, joedwyerjr.com. Have a wonderful day, everyone, and I hope to see you back here tomorrow. Take care.